In this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about what you need to do so that way your emails in your CRM actually get delivered into the inbox and not spam. A lot of agents struggle with this because naturally, you guys aren't digital marketing nerds like myself. So why would you care about an email domain or a domain server or DNS hosting? That stuff kind of goes over your head, and it doesn't make you a lot of money unless you utilize it properly. So we're going to talk about a couple points that are going to really help you get your CRM emails to be delivered into people's inboxes, not their spam. Now, everybody welcome Dende. He's going to join us in this video. This is the actual official Gucci snake. His name's Dende. I like snakes. They're like wingless dragons. This is what I could do in this video. I could go over the history of what a root domain is, what subdomains are, what a DMARC record is, and why Google really likes to see DMARC records in the subdomain and why that helps you seem less spammy. I could go into like the history very, very easily because I understand this stuff at a almost advanced level. I would still call myself an upper intermediary digital marketer. So let's say the analogy is like college degrees, a bachelor degree, a master's degree, and a PhD. I'm probably like about to enter PhD with digital marketing, but I have my master's. There are still smarter people than me, but I'm pretty close. So every digital marketer will know like what a DNS host is, why Cloudflare is the best, what a DMARC record is in a subdomain, root domain, etc. And I could explain all of that to you quite easily over a 30-minute video. But the thing is, a lot of this will just go over your head. It's actually harder as a nerd to make an easy video for you guys to understand it with simple analogies. So that way the video is like 10 minutes or so, not 30 or not an hour long. So I'm going to try to actually explain how to go about optimizing your email deliverability rates through layman's terms so you can actually understand it and it doesn't sound like a foreign language to you, okay? So if you've ever used a CRM, then congratulations to you because that's the most important tool in really any business, I would argue, is the CRM software. I don't care if you're a real estate agent, a massage therapist, a cat toy manufacturing company. The most important tool in any business is a CRM. So if you know that, then you're ahead of the curve. If you've ever tried a CRM and your emails were delivering properly, then that's good. But most of us, when you start trying to email in bulk, especially right away, sometimes your emails go to spam, okay? So here are a few tips that you can actually digest to make sure your email campaigns are actually working. So the first tip is pick a good CRM that has robust functionality. That's pretty obvious. I mean, there's a lot of good ones at this point. ActiveCampaign is good. Salesforce is good. Locator IQ is good if you're a locator. There are a few good ones. And the second tip is don't buy your domain directly from your CRM provider, okay? For instance, ClickFunnels, or if you've ever made a Squarespace website, you know how some of them just will let you buy a domain when you're signing up? This isn't really a good idea because a lot of them, for some reason, don't use Cloudflare, and Cloudflare is like the best. So what's happening is these companies like, I don't know, Squarespace, they have a deal with Google. That's who hosts their domain. Google's okay, but Cloudflare every single time gets ranked the fastest with speed, the best overall support and protection. So every DNS host server that you'll buy a domain from, they're not all exactly made the same. Some are faster, some are slower, some don't boot up in certain countries. So if you've got a great website in your local state, but then you're in Mexico, it might not boot up well in case you have customers in Mexico, right? So if you're a real estate agent and you have a local business, it doesn't matter so much which DNS host provider you choose, whether it's GoDaddy, WordPress, Squarespace, Google, Cloudflare. It doesn't really matter because you have a local business. But if you are going to set up, pick a CRM and then buy a domain from somewhere, you might as well just pick the one that's always ranked number one with speed, protection, coverage. So that's always Cloudflare. This video obviously isn't sponsored by Cloudflare. I don't have the subscribers to do those deals. And also they're probably worth billions of dollars. So I'm telling you to pick Cloudflare because it's actually the truth. It's the fastest and it's the best. So when we created Locator IQ, our CRM for the apartment locating industry, we could have partnered with a third-party domain server and probably worked out like an affiliate deal. But instead, I would rather our users that are signing up for our CRM choose the right DNS host provider that's going to get them better coverage, speed, and security. So, we recommend Cloudflare even though we don't have a deal with them. Now, that's important. Buy your domain from Cloudflare. Okay. Now, this is what a lot of people do wrong. Most people don't even buy a custom domain. They will sign up for like ActiveCampaign or MailChimp or Follow Up Boss or any of these easy CRMs, never actually buy their own root domain. And so then they're piggybacking off of like the company's domain that's free. If you sign up to say, I don't know, whatever CRM, and you just start emailing people without putting in your own domain, it's not really good practice because that's what beginners do. And everyone else that's signing up for that CRM that didn't want to buy their own domain, they're all piggybacking off of the same company public subdomain. So don't let that be you, because then for sure your emails will go to spam. Okay. Now, what you want to do is you want to buy your own domain from Cloudflare. Don't just buy from a CRM. Get it from Cloudflare. Now, this is a root domain explained in the easiest way I could come up with. So imagine this domain, locator.com. I bet it's taken, so no one try to look that up. But locator.com is a root domain. Root means it's the main domain you have. Now, this will be perfect for your sales funnels, your websites, your survey forms. You can almost do everything from your normal root domain, okay? Now, here's the next pro tip. Whatever CRM you're using, there's actually an ability to put in a dedicated sending domain that works only with your email sending, okay? So I would highly encourage you to get a separate domain solely meant to work with your email sending. This is just gonna be better for a lot of reasons, okay? And I'm not gonna get into all those reasons because then this video will be an hour long. But basically, you don't have to buy a whole new domain for your email sending. You can just create something called a subdomain that lives inside of your root domain. It's free to do that. And what's cool is when you make a subdomain, it's as if you almost restart the credibility, the reputation, all that stuff. Okay? The trick here is to create a free subdomain inside of your root domain. It's actually very easy to do that. And this is an example of what a subdomain is. It's anything with a period and then to the left of it makes the root domain now a subdomain. Okay? Remember, if locator.com is your root domain, what I'm suggesting is you create a subdomain based off of the main and call it mail.locator.com. Here's the root domain, locator.com, but we're putting a period and mail to the left of it, which creates basically like a whole nother entity in itself that lives in your root domain. This is good because it's free to do this, and then you separate reputation stuff. There's just so many benefits I really want to get into with you on why it's better to create a subdomain for your email sending, but I'm trying to keep this video short. So awesome. We have now created our subdomain. We're going to use this for the separate email sending domain in your CRM. If your CRM doesn't have the ability to let you put in a separate domain solely for email sending, that's how you know you have a bad CRM. So then switch over to like Locator IQ or ActiveCampaign or ClickFunnels or something. If you're asking yourself, why would a CRM not give you the ability to do that? Well, it gets really technical to set that up. And sometimes, for instance, like the really real estate related CRM providers, they know that real estate agents don't really work with like but a few hundred people or a couple thousand people max. So a lot of the times they don't even give you the ability to like edit your subdomains and domains because they're like, this is a real estate agent. They're probably not going to work with more than a couple hundred people. So they can just piggyback off of our company domain and be fine. And in a sense, it's true. But if you really want to set yourself up and your business up for longevity and do it the right way, like that I'm telling you, then remember, get your domain from Cloudflare, buy your own root domain, and then create a subdomain. And we're going to use this subdomain for the email sending only. That way we have our own reputation, our own credibility. We almost start from scratch. And then your emails will not go to spam. That's the short story, okay? The next step we're gonna do to improve the subdomain and to help Google not flag us and send stuff to spam is by adding a DMARC record. A DMARC record lives inside of your DNS host settings. It sounds really nerdy, but it's actually really easy to do. A lot of the times you just sign into your DNS host provider like GoDaddy or Cloudflare.com. And then there's usually just a button that says add a DMARC record and they do it for you automatically. It's just something a lot of people miss. So super condensed explanation of what that is. If you have a DMARC record, it's a security record that lives inside of your subdomain. Google likes seeing active DMARC records in your subdomain, and your emails won't go to spam as often. That's like the easiest explanation I can give without going into the history of like how this even started, what it means, because you don't need to know that, okay? Now over to the right, I put a bunch of X's because usually the actual record, it'll read DMARC 1295F, just a bunch of random characters. You don't need to pay attention to that so much, but just make sure that you do have an active DMARC record that lives inside your subdomain. Then you're good. That's basically all the setup. What do we do for best practices? Because this is what's really going to determine whether or not your emails go to spam. Because what could happen to you is this. You could say, hey, Pierre, I bought my root domain on Cloudflare like you suggested. I created a subdomain, mail.locator.com. I figured out how to put my subdomain as my email sender inside of Locator IQ, and Locator IQ made it really easy. And I also made sure there was a DMARC record in the subdomain. So I did it all right. Why are my emails still getting sent to spam? So if that's happening to you, here's the flip side of the coin. Okay, there's two parts here. The first side of the coin, get set up properly. Okay, don't fall for company affiliate deals like signing up to Squarespace and really your domain is hosted on Google and you're confused and it's not even optimal. Like, don't do that. Sign up the right way first. Cloudflare, root domain, subdomain, you own it, put in a DMARC. Okay, that's the first side. The second side of the coin is your history and activity with using your subdomain. And so this comes down to, how are you emailing people? How are you actually using your subdomain? Are you doing the right actions? Are people engaging with your email and actually opening up the email, actually clicking the links in the email and actually responding to you sometimes? If you start sending out, say, what's a realistic scenario? Okay, you're with Follow Up Boss, you've got 10,000 contacts in your CRM. Then you realize Locator IQ is better in every way. Just give us the benefit of the doubt, okay? You're with Follow Up Boss because you're in real estate, you realize IQ is way better, you switch over to IQ, and then you do what I said, you clean up properly, and then you start sending out 10,000 emails a day. That could work, but because you just created a new subdomain, it's as if you have zero credit. And you've heard of the analogy, no credit's better than bad credit. And that's kind of the analogy here. When you create a new subdomain, it's as if you're starting an account with no credit, okay? And so you have to start building the credit up slowly before you're going to get a solid, reliable, open email rate. So the reason we like to recommend that our CRM customers create a new domain, create a subdomain, put in the DMARC and start from scratch again, chances are wherever you came from, wherever CRM, they probably didn't help you set up things properly. And so 95% chance out of all the customers that sign up to our CRM, we see that their reputation sucks anyways. And so that's the majority of the statistic. That's why as a company, we would rather you start with a fresh set of email sending reputation as if you have zero credit and then build it with our guidance slowly. Okay. The second part of the coin basically means you have to start using your CRM and start firing off campaigns slowly and wait for people to actually read the email, click into it, click any links that you put in there, probably to your sales funnel, and then reply to the email every now and then, and do this low scale. Send out 100 emails a day for a little bit. You're probably a real estate agent, so 100 emails a day, I bet you only have a couple thousand contacts in your CRM anyways. So if you send out 100 emails a day, in 20 days, you can email every one of your 2,000 people. If you only have 1,000 contacts as a new real estate agent, it's only taking you 10 days to conservatively email only 100 people a day. Locator IQ makes it really easy to like batch email like that. We thought of that. And so I would highly recommend that you email slowly, 100 emails a day. Give people a chance to open it, give people a chance to reply to it. And slowly Google is going to start recognizing, wow, this subdomain that's sending a bunch of emails, they're not over abusing it. They're sending like 100 emails a day as a company. People are actually clicking into the email. People are replying to the email every now and then, and people are actually clicking the link in the email. And so when you do that, you're showing Google you are a reliable, trustworthy sending domain. And then over next month, now you can up it to 500 emails a day. And then you can contact your entire list in like 3 days if you have 1,500 total contacts. This is what you do, okay? And then after a couple of months, now you can email 1,000 a day. And then after a few more months, as long as you're putting together quality email content that people want to actually read, that way you get them to click the email, reply, and actually read your email. If you do this over enough time, like within a year, no problem. But you have to first start small over a couple of months and build that history, the activity, and you're letting Google know, hey, we're a trustworthy company. Don't send our emails as spam. People actually open it, okay? So that's how you do that. You have to make sure you get those 2 parts solidified. Like, do the 2 parts well. First, sign up, set everything up properly. And the second part is like, start sending emails slowly, but make sure your emails are of high quality so people actually read it, okay? That's the easiest way I can explain what you need to do to make sure your emails always end up in inbox. It's actually really hard to film this video because naturally I want to start speaking nerd and then start telling you like how a DMARC record was created, what these digits to the right mean. I'm like really tempted to try to explain that to you, but I know that you don't care and it's not going to help your bottom line. So this is one of the more difficult videos I had to film. But I hope that gives you like layman's terms on what do we do to get our emails to go into inbox. Okay, set things up properly, start slowly when you're sending out emails, and make sure those emails are of high quality so people actually open it. Because if you start sending 1,000 emails a day, 10,000 emails a day, and it's junk, your subject line is not engaging, it's not catchy, your content's very filler, it's not good, and then people end up hitting unsubscribe, not even opening your emails, you're not going to get good deliverability rate, right? So setup is one part of it, but the second part is like you have to put together good emails or not over time, you're going to hurt your reputation. And then half of your emails will go to spam, then 70% of your emails will go to spam, then most of your emails will go to spam. And if you have such bad reputation, hire an email marketer to do it for you, okay? Because if you set everything up properly, with a new CRM and a new subdomain, and you're sending slowly and you're still not getting good deliverability rate, fire yourself as the email content marketer because you suck, and then hire someone overseas to help you write good quality emails that people want to open. That's the only thing to do at that point. So I hope this video was helpful. If you do decide to go with Locator IQ as your CRM provider of choice, a lot of the stuff that we just walked through is automated, actually automated. Creating the domain, we've automated in IQ. Creating the subdomain, we have completely automated in Locator IQ. So we've thought of a lot of this stuff for you. We try to make it as easy as possible. You could start a 7-day free trial by going to locatoriq.vip. Other than that, I hope this video was helpful. We will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.